Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is a story that we've been following since the very beginning about Senator Dan McKeon. Today, legislators decided to advance a resolution to expel him. Now, we do have this story available for you on our website. That's firstalert6.com. This is in our top story spot right here. And I clicked on this earlier to kind of give you an idea as to what we're talking about today. So the vote was unanimous, and this is on LR 282. And if it passes, McKeon would be ousted from the Nebraska legislature, which would make him the first senator to face this kind of punishment, okay? So the resolution proposes McKeon be expelled over a reported pattern of conduct deemed unbecoming of a member of the Nebraska legislature. And LR 282 references findings from a formal investigation into violations of the Nebraska legislature's workplace harassment policy, as well as additional documented and alleged behaviors, including statements and ongoing patterns of conduct that have disrupted the legislative workplace. So that is the basis of LR 282. Now, you'll recall we also discussed what happened in October. He was cited for misdemeanor public indecency and is accused of inappropriate touching at a party toward the end of last year's legislative session. 2 months after that, the Nebraska Unicameral's executive board unanimously recommended to expel him from the legislature, and Governor Jim Pillen has also called on him to resign. So this is today's story. And then I did pop up a couple of these other stories that we've given you links to. So this is when he was cited for public indecency during the session-ending party. And then this next story, the vote to expel Senator McKeon over those groping allegations. So since then, clearly, McKeon has attorneyed up. So his attorney says, you know, he's suggesting a censure as a more appropriate response given the allegations have yet to receive due process. His attorney also says McKeon did fully comply with everything the executive board asked of him in the aftermath of those allegations, and this includes training, restricted communications, relocating his office, etc., and said he was willing to accept further disciplinary actions. So another thing that came up was, and I'll head back to our most recent story today, but I did want to highlight this quote for you. I believe here it's at the bottom. Just kind of scroll down here. So there was an apology letter that was sent to colleagues, and I'm trying to get that for you here. Let me highlight this for you here. Okay, so this is part of McKeon's apology letter. So he says, quote, "I'll try to watch my future comments, but I might still occasionally have a bad joke slip out, and those who are eggshells should avoid me, not engage me in conversation," end quote. So that, as you can imagine, is controversial as well. Now, meantime, the legislature is scheduled to make a decision on LR 282, and this will be during tomorrow's legislative session. So clearly, we will first alert you as this developing story continues into tomorrow. Now, in the meantime, I do want to switch gears and talk a little bit about the weather. Again, you can get all the latest weather on our website, firstalert6.com. Just click on this First Alert 6 weather tab right here, which I've already done, so I'm going to head over there. Here is the forecast from Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. So a lovely day today, mostly sunny, a high of 59, almost breaking that 60 point again. So that's great. Currently, our conditions stand at 40, though, and it's partly cloudy out there. But we are keeping an eye on this, and this is something you can use yourself as a web extra as well, as we do have the hourly conditions out there for you too. Now tonight we're anticipating partly cloudy conditions with a low of 37. Then Tuesday, increasing clouds and breezy out there, a high of 63. So we break the 60s again, a 20% chance of evening showers, mostly wet at night. And then Wednesday, mostly sunny, getting a bit colder though, and breezy with a high of 35. So let's look at our 3 days. So yeah, so it seems like we're starting this warm up, and then Wednesday, bam, at least it's sunny out there, right? But it is getting a bit chillier. Here's our 10-day forecast for you to kind of take a look at your leisure if you would like to do so. And then kind of early to talk about the weekend, but why not, right? So Friday, we're thinking scattered snow showers, likely Saturday morning snow shower or two, and then Sunday, mostly sunny out there. So not too bad, but of course, I'm anticipating that this will all change in some way, shape, or form, and this is why we like to check in with our meteorologists to get the most up-to-date information that we can. All right, before we go, do want to take a live look from our Blackstone camera. A reminder for those of you traveling around, there is still a bunch of streetcar construction going up. Blackstone, though, itself is open. So if you can find those detours and kind of head around, I believe this is the Harney Street Bridge construction that's happening right down there. You can navigate your way around and head to those restaurants and head to those bars and head to the salon that's down here and kind of enjoy yourself, have a decent lunch. So this is something that you can do. You just might have to navigate around. And then one quick look here from Children's Nebraska camera. Yeah, so it looks like the sun's trying to poke through those cloudy conditions, and traffic seemingly on Dodge flowing rather smoothly. So that's the good news. Now, in the interim, please do stay tuned for our broadcast at 3 p.m. That's with our Dave Zavolinsky. And have a wonderful day. Get out today as we anticipate close to 60 degrees today in January. Pretty incredible, right? So have a wonderful day, and we'll see you at 3.